After successfully passing the media process stage, you're now ready to dive into the video editor itself, and you can do so with confidence. The thing about Lightworks is it just keeps catching me out, because all the editors I've gone through, there's always been this panel right in your face. Not the case with this. You've got this video editor desktop space, which is what I've highlighted in yellow, and then it's a very simple uncluttered interface. All you've got, there's no preview, but all you've got is this dialog box in the middle, which is the project browser, but it's not the actual browser, it's just showing you all the projects you have. So the projects that you've got running or you've got active are shown here, and you might have more underneath. To create a new one, you just enter the details up here, and then you get the project space, and it will move into it on the click. But the other thing you can do here, and it's a consistent theme with this interface, is you have this thing called a cogs menu on the top right hand corner of each one of these dialog windows or windows, and by clicking that you can change the behavior of that particular dialog or window. You have another one down at the bottom, which is a huge cogs menu, which changes the entire system settings, and I mean the entire system settings. You can change the complete look and feel or eye candy of the interface itself, which is nice because some people might not like the default colors, so you can change this to suit. But it doesn't stop there, because you can also change many other features. Shortly you'll see that you can actually change the way or the wording it produces from any exceptions that have been raised, or you can add some of your own hotkeys when you're doing the editing. There is a feature where you can test the GPU to make sure that the application recognizes it and knows how to handle it. So all these features, this is just before you go in, are handy. And here you can see me going into one of the projects, and you've got many rooms within the project. And so it just keeps going on. One innovation after another. I mean, it's just very hard to tie down this application with the others. So here I'm about to launch into a project itself. So you click or hover over the project, and then you pick a room. So I'm going to pick the default room. I have 3 open within there. From what I've seen at the moment, you can have 4. Now we've got to do a walkthrough in one of the rooms. So you have this top left hand side is that yellow square I've just come up with, and that's your project management side. So all the information about the project, tasks that may be running, batches that might be doing is in here. This straightforward. If you need to know what those two things are, I suggest you do a Windows course because they're straightforward. Now this is known as the Global Playback and Control Center, but I'll show you how you can change even this, which is very nice. And this red shark, I suppose it's really quite cute. If you right click this and move it around, it's like a big delete, and it gobbles up anything you put it over. A nice gimmicky thing. And this toolbar is the hub of any one of the rooms. This is where you can instigate any one of the tasks or underway any one of the tasks, and one of them being actually to launch this section here, which is the real project browser. And what do you expect? This is not like any of the other project browsers because it has search functions which are very enviable, so you can search your clip types and things like that. If you click one of those clips, you then get this previewer. You can tell it's a source previewer because the border is blue, and you don't have to have the bottom section which shows you the timeline. So let's see all this in action. We'll start the actual in-action thing by looking at the project management. So there's the rooms and all the details about the project that you may want to know, the video, the audio, any tasks that you may be having. If you've got any film that you've imported, the information about that, everything is here. This is the hub for the project management side. The next one is this toolbar. If you unpin it, it will auto hide. If you pin it, it will stay in place. You've got all the usual things. Now I've just done the capture. Now I'm looking at the import. Again, you've got a cogs menu so you can tweak how that behaves. Now, as you see before in the preview, it's blue is for the source, red is when you hit the editor. So when you hit that bar there, you just get the red or an edit previewer and timeline. So that's where you put your edits. This particular one is a search, a nice powerful search function, because if you've got a lot of metadata on your clips, you can search for the metadata of clips that may be doing a certain scene or a chapter or anything like that. So I've just given it a quick example there. This feature is the ability to write out to a tape, and this one here is the export function. Now right at the bottom is that feature which will change that global bar that I just showed we talked about. So if you hit the settings here, you've got this section here which is playback global, which you can see here, but you may want to have one for the source and one for the editor, so you can do this per viewer. But I prefer the global approach, so I'm going to return it back to the global approach. But as you can see from this, the whole interface is just different, and I can see the benefits of this because all the time I never felt that this was cluttered, and it's quite amazing because you just don't. Fact is, I'm kind of lost for words here to explain this because it's so hard. I've been with so many video editors, a lot of them panel driven. I can even sympathize anyone who's an Adobe fan trying to struggle how to use this interface, but once you start using it, it's like it's a self-adapting video editor. It adapts to the way you think because you organize it the way you think. It's as simple as that. To go into the workflow even more deeply here, this is the edit window and I've got the effects window open. So when you apply an effect or anything, you get this like dual monitor view. Now you might think this is like the before and this is the after, but that's not the case in this particular mode. So the right is the right side of the trim and the left is the left side of the trim. Or another way you might want to think of this or view this is this red line is in the center and everything to the right is the right side, everything to the left is the left side, or you can map it just like this. So if you move that red line, it self-adjusts either side. It's innovative and it's natural. It's something that at first you find hard, like you want to do the cut and paste or whatever, but this is different, and once you've got used to it, it's great. There are other nice professional tools that comes with this, like here, if you actually understand this kind of information, you can look at the properties and attributes of the movie you are editing as well as the source. So it's really very powerful tool. It can be used for the professional or for the complete and utter novice. It works at the rate that you want to work at, and so what you're seeing me here is doing some quick little tweaks. Another thing that I like about the workflow is it can be made visible to you on how it's working. So this routing window or video routing, which unfortunately doesn't have any help, anything you add as an effect, it shows you where it is in the routing of this particular clip. So you have the primary clip, and as you add other things, it shows you that routing. And you have some very powerful tools, as you can see here, and each one of those can be placed in here. Now what is unusual about this tool is you can play with the routing. So if you've got a routing sequence like this where you're doing the curves, then the color correction, you may want to change the way that routing works, and it's quite simple to do this. All you do is remove the line. There's like a socket and plug sort of approach in here with the way these windows works, and you just drag from one point to another, and now you've changed the way the routing works, and it can have an impact on the way the video looks. So how easy is that? You don't even have to know the gubbins about the system to do something as clever as that. So this is a very innovative tool. I can see that some professionals might find this hard to go into, especially if they like their Adobes. but I personally found it innovative and a joy to use because it was so different. It's a step change, and step changes tend to upset the apple cart. I can only give it 3 stars because we haven't really used it in anger, though you might think I have with that play around, but literally it was just me playing. The picture that comes to my mind is someone trying to nick all these great innovative ideas from this product and seeing if they can apply it subtly different into their own, because it's just packed with innovation and great ideas. And that's the thing about this. You can tell this was made by video editors for video editors, and the focus has been on video editing. But in this case, I don't mind. I really don't mind. It's a joy, and I can't wait to actually use this in anger and to make a game anime from this.